Hey everyone, welcome back to another Whiteout survival guide video. Today we are going to look into the Frostfire mine event. If you are aiming for the top 10 leaderboard spots, I've got the skill breakdown that I usually go for, strategy and commentated gameplay footage for you. The Frostfire mine event is all about maximizing the orichalcum by taking control of common vein, outbursts, or hunting patrol guards. This is one of the two events where you can get chief charm materials. If you are not so familiar with the event rules, consider checking out the official Whiteout Survivals video for Frostfire. The video is quite informative and voiced by one of my favorite content creator, Riad Gaming. When I first started the game, I didn't know what I was doing, so I didn't rank too well previously, but after adapting to my current strategy, I've been able to consistently perform in the top 10. That's why in this video, I'll be going through my playstyle, which is suitable for everyone to try out, and a commentated gameplay if you would like to see how I play and my thoughts throughout the event. The playstyle I use is a universal and everyone can adapt to it, regardless if you are FTP or Spender or Big Whale. This style is a mass patrol massacre style, frequently teleporting with some mining and completely ignore the center occupation. Here's a quick breakdown of the skills I use for the event. I go for right, right, left, left, right. The first skill I choose right is because this skill is the most important skill for the style to work. Without it, you do not gain any orichalcum from defeating mine patrols. In comparison, the left skill gives you a steady 1080 orichalcum per minute, so if you obtain this skill within the first minute, you'll have around 1080 times 26, which is around 28,000 amount of orichalcum. This means if you kill 19 or more patrol after obtaining the level 1 right skill, the right skill will be more beneficial. The second skill I choose the right because my playstyle relies a lot on walking around instead of defending, so the right skill is much more beneficial than the deployment size increase. The third skill I choose the left one. So for this one, a lot of people don't quite understand how this skill works, so I'll explain about this skill. Both left and right skills may be activated when it's not on cooldown, and when you have a march that hits a common vein, regardless if it is occupied player or patrol guards or it's just empty. The left skill will trigger if you win, and the right skill will trigger if you lose. Once it triggers, the skill will go into a 60-second cooldown, which you will need to keep track of by yourself. How good you are at triggering this skill throughout the event is usually the deciding point whether you will get into the top 5. The level 4 skill, I choose the left one because it is much more beneficial than the hero recovery speed. Since I'm not trying to attack or defending big players, I'll just run away if a big player comes, and I'll only attack if I'm sure I will win. This gathering speed will affect both common vein and outbursts, which will increase the gathering rate of outbursts from 200 per second to 230 per second, and reduce the standard 20 seconds gathering time down to 18 seconds gathering time. The final skill I go for the right skill because I am not trying to fight any big players, so the left skill is not beneficial for my playstyle. The right skill will affect both common vein and outbursts. Combining with a previous 15% bonus will give me 330 orichalcum per second and reduce the gathering time down to 8 seconds. It is very good, so I usually push a lot to try to get this skill before the first wave of outbursts. A note to this skill is that you will have to activate this skill before you send out your troops to gain benefits from it. Pay attention to the gameplay here. I send out the march out before activating the skill, and then send another march out to a different outburst. The first march arrived, and the time it takes to finish gathering is still 18 seconds, whereas the other march that I sent out after I activated the skill will only take 13 seconds to finish gathering a full outburst. The same goes for when you are using this skill for common vein. Make sure you activate this skill before you send the march out. After the 60 seconds and the skill wears off, if your troop is still gathering the common vein, they will still be gathering at the bonus rate. Now that you know the strategy, let's see it in action. I'm going to walk through my latest run where I finished in the top 10. You will get to see exactly how I apply these skills and make real-time decisions. I'll be going over the thoughts in my mind at each stage of the game and any details that I could have done better. Before the game starts, start looking around the map for the location of the patrols. Check if there are any players around us, and if there's somewhat secluded location on the map, then we can consider teleporting in the next few minutes after the game starts. If you have pet skills available, then consider activating them now. In this gameplay footage, I have already activated my pet skills. It is very important to check out the number of players on the top right. If the player count is lower, around 110 to 120, like what I have in this game at the moment, then know that there's a good chance that there's some space around the map that is less crowded, and patrol massacre strategy will work quite nicely. That means we will be looking to teleport frequently and gather common veins a bit less frequently. If the player count is high, above 170, then know that we should focus more on balancing both mining and patrol killing. If we go for zero mining strategy while the player count is very high, then we are likely to perform badly. When the game begins, hit the patrols that are further away from our city and closer to other players first, and reserve the patrols closer to us to the later marches. Sometimes players are not really looking around their city, so if we deploy the first few marches to these patrols, we have a good chance of getting them before others notice it. This way we'll ensure that we are getting the patrol kills that are further from our city without the need to speed our troops. After clearing out the patrols around us, start looking for cluster of mine patrols. Here I made a mistake for looking a bit too early. I recommend start looking around 10 or less seconds left on the free TP cooldown. See how I will need to use my own TP instead of the free TP. Now we have the third skill activated. We now need to constantly capture a common vein every minute to activate this skill as much as possible. This also includes the time during outbursts, because our march to activate this skill then coming back would take less than the time to mine out an outburst. For example, here my march will take 6 seconds to hit the common vein and 6 seconds to come back, so a total of 12 seconds is spent to activate this skill for 5000 orichalcum. An outburst gives 4000 orichalcum, and mining it alone will take 20 seconds to mine out without any gathering buff, and 13 seconds if both 4th and 5th skills are active. This doesn't even include the time that your troops need to march to the outburst and then coming back. So activating the skill alone already gives more orichalcum. Not to mention, if a common vein has patrol guards, we can then loot for some additional orichalcum. Here around 24 minutes left, usually the patrol guard's density drops very low, so I will start sending troops to gather common veins while we wait for the patrol guards to respawn. This is also a good time to look around the map again for any patrol guards clusters. Here I teleported to our new secluded location and immediately sent out troops to kill the guards around, send one march out to hit a common vein again and keep looting. Once the guard density drops again, I'll start sending out my marches to gather common veins again, and outbursts should be coming soon at 20 minutes mark. Recall all the troops around 50 seconds when the outburst is going to start. Then when it starts, send out all the troops to the outburst on the map. Here I'm also keeping track of who are sending the troops to the outburst around me. No point to compete with players bigger than me, but if players looks weaker, then I'll be sending my troops to fight those outbursts. Here at this point, I realize I have 2 bigger players around me, so I really can't get much more outbursts and I should be looking for a new spot with a cluster of outbursts. At this new place, I will be activating my mining skills so that I can quickly mine out the cluster of outbursts around me before other players get them. Once I mine out this second location, start searching around the map again if there's any cluster of outbursts. Here I was lucky to find another cluster of outbursts, so I quickly teleported in to start gathering them. I'm looking for more, but it seems like this is the last one. So I went back to patrol hunting and looking for clusters of patrols. I wasn't too happy with my location here, so I was looking for a new place to go to that meets the following criteria. So the criteria are level 2 common vein, not too crowded, and no big players near me, so I can take control of the level 2 veins more easily. This is why I teleported to this new location. The rest is rinse and repeat, the same process. Activate the capture skill and keep a note of the time for the cooldown. Guards hunting, looking for veins that have guards for extra loot. When no guards are nearby, go for the level 2 common veins. The second outburst will soon begin. Recall troops again around 50 seconds mark. Send troops out immediately to the outbursts. If an outburst already has someone marching, check if they are stronger. In this case they are not, so I will be sending my march to knock them out. I like to reserve my level 5 mining skill for the next class I teleport to quickly mine out the outbursts. Once the outbursts around me are out, look for the next cluster of outbursts to teleport to. This place seems pretty good, so I teleported here and quickly sent my strongest march to the one that someone is trying to mine out, and weaker marches to the one that no one is going after. After the second outburst, the same process again. Activate the capture skill and keep a note of the time for the cooldown. Second, guard hunting. Third, look for veins that have guards for extra loot. Fourth, when no guards are nearby, look for a new place to relocate to. This new location needs to meet the same criteria: level 2 common vein, not too crowded, no big players near me. So this place looks pretty good to me. After teleporting, and then it's just rinse and repeat the same process. Activate the capture skill, keep a note of the time for the cooldown, guard hunting, look for veins that have guards for extra loot. When no guards are nearby, start capturing level 2 or sometimes even level 3 veins. Here I need my strong march to try to knock out this player next to me, but I got a bit too chaotic at this point and I have no idea where my strongest march is, so I ended up never knocking out this player. The final minute of the game, if we have TP ready again, definitely look for a new cluster of patrols. You can usually find a few spots around. Here I found this corner to have a lot of patrols, so I teleported to this place. Start sending out troops to kill patrols, keep activating the occupation bonus skill, and if everything is too far, I just send my troops to gather these common vein to squeeze in just a few more orichalcum before the event ends. This wraps up my guide to the Frostfire mine event. With the strategy and playstyle that I use, I can consistently hit that top 10 ranking. It does require quite a lot of actions and looking around the map, but the general idea is all about these 4 steps: activating the capture skill, keep note of the time of the cooldown, guards hunting, looking for veins that have guards for extra loot, and when there's no guards nearby, look for a new place to relocate to. With the criteria of level 2 common vein, not too crowded, and no big players near me. Some people may want to know, as a reference, my total power was hovering around 100 when the stage just started, but now I'm hovering above 50, so around 30 at the moment, but top 50. So for this strategy to work, you definitely do not need to be like the top 10 strong in your state to work. Thanks for watching. My channel usually focuses on math and analytics, but sometimes people request me to make some guide video. So I hope this video will be helpful for you. Also a note to the October giveaway that I mentioned in my last video. There were only actually 10 people who filled out the form, and for those people, you should have received the reward in the in-game mail. The November giveaway is underway, so all you need to do is subscribe to my channel and fill out the form that is in the description below. The gifts will then be given out at the end of November or beginning of December. So until then, I'll see you in the next one.